Coming up tonight on UMTV News, it's been another week with a deadly school shooting, this time at the University of Virginia.
Plus, former President Donald Trump is expected to announce his possible 2024 presidential run tonight.
And 2 Russian missiles have hit a NATO member.
We'll have all the details on that and more coming up here on UMTV News.
It starts right now.
Hello and welcome to UMTV News. I'm Madison Bidding.
And I'm Tatiana Robinson. Thank you for joining us tonight. An intense manhunt is over in Virginia, where a University of Virginia student who allegedly shot and killed 3 people and wounded 2 others late Sunday night has been caught. Terror in Charlottesville as the deadly shooting Sunday night sent the University of Virginia into lockdown.
This is a sad, shocking, and tragic day for our UVA community.
A massive manhunt overnight as police search for this man, UVA student and former football player Christopher Jones Jr., who was suspected of killing 3 schoolmates and injuring 2 others as they returned from a field trip to Washington, D.C. Officials say the shooter opened fire on a bus full of students in a parking garage on the UVA campus.
My heart is broken for the victims and their families and for all those who knew and loved them.
The UVA president identifying victims who died as Devin Chandler, a junior from Huntersville, North Carolina, Lavelle Davis Jr., a junior from Dorchester, South Carolina, and Deshaun Perry, a junior from Miami, Florida. All 3 were members of the UVA football team. UVA police say the suspect had been investigated by campus officials in September after someone reported him making a comment about owning a gun. By mid-Monday morning, Jones had been found away from campus and taken into custody.
We've secured arrest warrants for Mr. Jones. We've charged him with 3 counts of second-degree murder, and we charged him with 3 counts of using a handgun in the commission of a felony.
The suspect's motives are unclear, as students and the victim's family now try to make sense of this tragedy.
Please reach out to each other and lend each other an ear and a shoulder, even if virtually.
One of the victims was a Miami native. Deshaun Perry graduated from Gulliver Prep in Pinecrest.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has won the speakership nomination from his party after beating his far-right challenger, Andy Biggs. McCarthy won 188 to 31, signaling that he has a long road ahead to win the speaker's gavel. House leadership elections will take place in January, and he will need to convince 218 members of his conference to become speaker.
Donald Trump is holding an event this evening at his resort in Mar-a-Lago, where he had signaled that he will make a, quote, special announcement. This announcement is expected to be the launch of his 2024 presidential campaign. Many say he is making this announcement early in hopes of getting ahead of his potential rivals. The announcement is expected at 9 p.m.
2 missiles or rockets are reported to have hit a farm in Poland near the border with Ukraine, and 2 people are reported killed. Polish media showed an image of a deep impact that upturned a farm vehicle at the site. Russia has denied responsibility for this attack, and U.S. officials and NATO members are working with the Polish government to gather more information about this incident and discuss next steps.
Authorities have made a shocking discovery at the JFK airport in New York. $450,000 worth of cocaine was hidden in a wheelchair. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, agents discovered almost 28 pounds of cocaine stuffed in the wheels of a woman's wheelchair, who was from the Dominican Republic. Officers say they x-rayed the wheels on the wheelchair because they would not turn, and that's when they found the cocaine. The woman will face federal narcotics smuggling charges. Now it's time for a short break, but when we return, hungry for something different? One new food truck in Miami is making our mouths water. We will take you there when we return.
And are you feeling adventurous? Do you want a chance to travel across the U.S. exploring with your friends? One on-campus group is offering exciting opportunities for next semester. Details straight ahead.
RAIN has been supporting survivors of sexual violence since 1994.
We have teams dedicated to education, prevention, and response. improving the criminal justice system.
And changing the way America thinks about sexual violence.
Our hotline is 100% confidential. It's anonymous, it's safe, and free.
Whether you're looking for information or just want someone to listen, we'll be there.
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
Porque siempre voy a atender a tu llamada.
Because I'm here to support you with what you need to heal.
Because I will work to prevent violence and to create a safer future.
Because I share your story. Because we.
Because we will fight for you.
Because we stand with you.
Because with Rain, you are not alone.
Thanks for staying with us. Tati, I found the perfect spot for our students to eat in between classes. Not far from here sits Miami Bocce food truck located between the towers of Palmer Dadeland, and Miami Bocce had its grand opening on November 3rd. It's serving traditional Japanese teppanyaki food. It all started when 3 childhood friends had a casual chat that then turned into a business plan, and then they made it reality.
This amount of support that we generated, and we wanted to bring something bigger to the streets, to our community, to Miami. Throughout that time, I recently have gone to Los Angeles, California, and I experienced that the food truck scene in general, hibachi alone, is very big in California. And in Miami, we don't really have much hibachi trucks, so we wanted to bring that over to our community.
Miami Bocce plans to expand and have more trucks in the coming years.
That looks like something I definitely want to try. And speaking of things we need to try, Outdoor Adventures opened in Lakeside Village on campus 2 years ago as an extension of the wellness center with a climbing wall. But since then, it has become so much more. Reporter Bella Papaduke joins us now live to tell us about some new opportunities that Outdoor Adventures has coming next semester. Bella?
Outdoor Adventures gives students the opportunity to go rock climbing or rent equipment to go surfing, paddleboarding, hiking, and so much more. But starting in the spring, they're hosting adventure trips for students who want to get off campus and outside their comfort zone.
If you love the outdoors, you'll love Outdoor Adventures, located at Lakeside Village on the University of Miami campus. OA offers opportunities for students to try activities they wouldn't normally have access to, such as paddleboarding or surfing.
So Outdoor Adventures is an awesome place to just come and have fun. Between the rock climbing wall and all of this stuff that we can rent, there's so many things to do here, so it's just a great place to learn more things about the South Florida area.
And starting next semester, OA won't just be renting out equipment for the trips, they'll be hosting them too. The new adventure trips invite students to visit sites within the Miami area, other parts of Florida, and even across the United States.
So we have everything from beginner, which is like paddleboard trips or maybe learning how to surf and stuff like that. We run day trips and weekend trips, and it goes all the way up to like maybe intermediate or advanced hiking and backpacking trips.
Right now, the adventure trips planned are stand-up paddleboarding, hiking, surfing, snorkeling, and a visit to Blue Springs State Park in Orange City, Florida. All these trips are led by Outdoor Adventures staff members, and they cost as low as $35, as Outdoor Adventures wants to make it affordable for a student budget.
So we were fortunate enough to have paddleboards, surfboards, all kinds of gear here for students to rent for their personal use and for these trips.
This semester, OA tried to run a ski trip to Colorado, but had to cancel because not enough people signed up.
So we had a spring trip for Colorado, which I was really looking forward to, but unfortunately it was canceled because we didn't have enough interest. But now we have a trip in March. We have a whole ton of trips, but I'm really looking forward to the surfing trip, so I'm really excited for that one.
These outdoor adventure trips will give students the opportunity to explore new parts of Florida and the U.S., meet new friends, and try something new.
Registration for these trips open November 1st, and if you're interested in doing one of them but don't know where to start, Outdoor Adventures offers instructional clinics and certifications to teach students these skills. Reporting live for UMTV, I'm Bella Papaduke.
Thank you, Bella. And speaking of sporting adventures, the Miami Dolphins moved into first place in the AFC East this weekend. The Dolphins defeated the Cleveland Browns by a final score of 39-17. The win was the largest victory of the season for the Dolphins, who moved to a record of 7 wins and 3 losses. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa threw 3 touchdown passes, while running backs Jeff Wilson Jr. and Raheem Mostert each scored on the ground. The Dolphins will host the Houston Texans on November 27th after their bye week.
Every 4 years, the world goes wild for the World Cup. And in just 4 days, the festivities will kick off with host country Qatar playing against Ecuador in the Al Bayt Stadium in the city of Alcor. The FIFA World Cup will take place from November 20th to December 15th. Experts estimate around 5 billion people will tune into the event worldwide. France took home the coveted title in 2018. Besides France, other favorites include both Brazil and England.
And basketball is back on campus this month. Miami men's and women's basketball opened up their regular seasons last Monday. Last year's games featured some of the best student turnouts in program history, with both teams making March Madness. For more, we're here joined now live by reporter Cal Friedman. Cal?
A basketball player, I am not, but a basketball fan, I am. And I know one on-campus organization that's giving Canes Hoops their home court advantage this season.
There's one organization you can hear, cheer, and party with at the Watsco Center. Category 5's The Eye is the rebranded student section at Canes games, and is making big strides after their inaugural season in 2021.
So we wanted to kind of brand everything as The Eye, just because, as we always say, there's a storm brewing. We're in Miami. We're going to make that big presence this year, and I think it will just be a tradition lived on forever.
Really, I didn't know what to expect, but I feel like basketball never really had its share in the spotlight because they were shadowed by such other ACC schools like Duke, Carolina, Virginia, to name a few. Ironically, pun intended, it's a perfect storm that's coming together.
From smoke to confetti cannons and even newspapers, The Eye is built off bringing students' ideas and traditions to life. This year, more student organizations and relationships have started to grow.
A lot of different student organizations are also coming to join us this year, where you're going to see different fraternities, different sororities, different Greek life organizations competing to see who the best one is.
Really just getting the students involved, getting our whole fan base involved, and getting our players involved has really been the biggest key to our success, and I think it's the key to our success in the future.
When students come to games, they have the opportunity to check in on the Canes United app presented by Category 5 to earn rewards and much more. Monday's opener against Lafayette featured over 1,500 students, the second most check-ins of any game this semester.
We will be reaching maximum capacity right when ACC starts, if not anytime earlier. We're going to be doing a lot of giveaways before ACC play, just to get everybody involved, get everybody hyped for the games, and by doing that, you're just creating more of an experience.
The hype has already brought record attendance to the Watsco Center and should bring in many more as the season moves on.
If you want any updates on giveaways or more associated with The Eye, you can follow them on Twitter or on Instagram. They're getting ready for men's basketball's game at 7 o'clock against Florida A&M, and hey, I might just join them. For UMTV, I'm Cal Friedman.
Thank you, Kyle. And finally, the United Nations says we are experiencing a, quote, milestone in human development, as the world's population has reached 8 billion people today. UN says the growth in the population is because of improvements in public health, nutrition, personal hygiene, and medicine. However, the news of the milestone was followed with a warning. The UN said even though the population is still growing, it will soon start to shrink. It will take approximately 15 years to reach 9 billion. To put that into perspective, it took 12 years to grow from 7 to our current population of 8 billion people.
That's a lot of people, but other than that, what are you doing for your Thanksgiving plans?
Well, I am traveling home to D.C. to just spend time with my mentor turned mom and her family. What about you?
I'm staying here in Miami, but I hope you enjoy yourself. And that's all the time we have for today on UMTV News. Thank you for joining us.
We hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving, and we hope to see you again on November 29th. Have a great night.